The Israeli drums of war beating louder, preparing for one of the biggest fights of its life. Israel has the edge in numbers and military hardware. But for Hamas, its secret weapon lies underground. The militant group revealing its network of tunnels in this highly choreographed video. It's in this sprawling labyrinth underneath Gaza they're holding some, if not all, of the 200 Israeli hostages captured on October 7. The propaganda ends with a message in Arabic and Hebrew. Hell awaits you. Day after day, night after night, the families of the hostages are begging for their return. Like Danny Miran. His 46-year-old son Omri was dragged away in front of his wife and daughters.
When she saw they took her father, she screamed, "My father, my father!" And his wife said to him, "Omri, I love you. Don't be a hero." Then they took him.
His father supports all military action to get his son home.
Israel is in a precarious situation, balancing its intent to launch a ground offensive to destroy Hamas, along with enormous international pressure to rescue hostages without jeopardising their lives.
A second aid convoy of 14 trucks has now entered the besieged Gaza Strip. The UN says it's not nearly enough, but the Israeli military claims it's under control.
We brought in humanitarian aid. We brought in medicine, food and water. To the residents of Gaza City, you are endangering your life, so move south.
Fears of a widening conflict are growing as Israel strikes into neighbouring countries, including Syria and Lebanon. The IDF says it hit 2 cells of the Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel's Prime Minister issuing this warning during a visit to troops along the border.
If Hezbollah decides to enter the war, they will be making the biggest mistake of their lives.
But fury is boiling across the streets of Tehran too. Iran, which also supports Hamas, has warned Israel it could join the fight.
Today the region is like a barrel of gunpowder. Any miscalculation, including the continuation of instigating war, massacre, ethnic cleansing and expulsion of Gaza and West Bank residents, can lead to bitter, heavy and extensive consequences.
Every day, civilians are paying the price.
And our correspondent Alison Horn is in southern Israel for us tonight. Alison, Iran is now threatening to intervene. How likely is that, and what would that mean for this conflict?
Yeah, Jeremy, Iran's foreign minister has said anything is possible, and it's warned that this region could spiral out of control, in their words, should Israel not stop its siege on Gaza. But Tehran really is in a bit of a quandary, because if things continue to escalate here, it won't want to be seen as sitting on the sidelines, because that will really affect Iran's goals of regional ascendancy here, and also its solidarity with Palestinians. On the other hand, if it becomes involved in this war, it knows it will become a major target, not just for Israel, but also for the United States. And it knows there'll be surely a huge economic and personal toll exacted inside Iran. And that's not something that it would want at the moment. So there is a lot of rhetoric that we're hearing outside of Iran, but also a lot of support and a lot of manoeuvring from world leaders to try to make sure that this conflict doesn't spill over into the wider Middle East. Here on the ground overnight, we have seen the heaviest bombardment from Israel into Gaza since this war began. But interestingly, in the south, where I am, there's been a dramatic decrease in the number of rockets being sent out by Hamas. There's been nothing, in fact, for the last 12 hours. And in the 12 hours preceding that, I can count on just one hand the number of barrages that have been sent out by Hamas. That's certainly a massive decrease, and it kind of signifies that Hamas might be trying to take stock of some of its weaponry and reserve some of that artillery for the next phase of of this war.
Alison Horn reporting.